Welcome back to the Maelstrom, ladies and gentlemen. We have another Warhammer 40k battle report for you today. Eric's Blood Angels versus my Death Guard. We're going to be playing 2,000 points. We're doing Strategic Gambit from the 2018 chapter approved, and we're doing Frontline Assault for deployments. So the Death Guard are going to be on this side with the Blood Angels coming at them from the opposite side. We have our 6 objectives set up, and each turn we are going to be gambling how many of those objectives we can score, and if we are able to meet or exceed that number, then we will receive additional victory points. So you have seen the table, you have seen the objective placement, and we have shown you deployment zones. We will be right back with the armies.
So for the Blood Angels, I have Commander Dante leading the charge with a sanguinary priest by his side. And he's got his elites an assault terminator squad outfitted with 2 thunderhammers, and the rest are outfitted with lightning claws. The shooting terminators have 1 assault cannon and standard gear. And then I have 2 assault squads that are following Dante. They are outfitted with 2 melta guns and chain swords and bolt pistols other than that. Then for my troop selections, I have 3 tac squads, each one set up with a missile launcher and plasma gun, just to make it even. They are 10-man squads strong each. For finishing up the troop squads, there's 2 scout squads, each outfitted with camo cloaks and sniper rifles. Following it up, the armored section of the army is 2 Bell Predators with twin assault cannons and heavy bolters, and a Predator with all las.
Alright, that is the Blood Angels. We will be right back with the Death Guard. Next up, we have the Death Guard. They are organized into a battalion today. Starting things off, we have our Winged Demon Prince. He has 2 pairs of talons, the suppurating plate. He is our Warlord with Arch Contaminator, and for his psychic power, he has Blades of Putrefaction. In the second HQ slot, we have Typhus, host of the Destroyer Hive. He is going to be bringing Miasma of Pestilence and Curse of the Leper as his psychic powers. In the elite slot, we have 3 of our helper characters. We have a Noxious Blightbringer, a Tallyman, and a Plague Surgeon. Moving over into the troops, we have a pair of zombie mobs. We have 15 zombies in each one of those mobs. We then have 3 squads of Plague Marines. 2 of them are armed with 3 plasma guns, and 1 of them is armed with 2 blight launchers. That takes care of our troops. Moving into the fast attacks, we have 3 Mephitic Blight Haulers and a single Fetid Bloat Drone with 2 Plague Spitters. And in the heavy support slot, we have 3 of our Plague Burst Crawlers. So that is the contribution for Nurgle. You have seen the armies and you have seen the table. We will be back as we get stuck into the Maelstrom.
So the Blood Angels, I tried to condense them into one group. They're in a little bit of a spearhead formation with the heavy weapons at the back of the group. The Bell Predators are leading the assault. My 2 scout squads, the first one I set up on the objective, and the second one I set up towards the front to try and help hold the line against the Nurgle advance.
Alright, and then you got 1 squad of Assault Marines coming in through Thunderhawk, right?
Correct.
Alright, on the Nurgle side, we have our artillery pieces bringing up the left side. The zombies are in the trenches holding the objectives with Typhus in support in the center. We then have the Demon Prince and the last Demon Engine here in the center with the Mephitic Blight Haulers along the front, and then the Marines forming the core of the advance here across the front. So, Blood Angels are going first unless Nurgle can seize the initiative. A 3 will not do it. So, Blood Angels will have the initial turn. We will be back once they have gone.
So my turn didn't go as well as I had planned. Between the combined firepower of pretty much my whole army, I was able to knock a few wounds out of a Black Crawler.
Yep, 5 wounds total. Tons of misses, tons of failed wounds, and tons of 5+ invulnerables made. But did knock 1 down to 3 wounds. That is it for turn 1. His objectives, he did use. I misdescribed the mission at the start for those of you who are screaming at the camera right now. We did roll the Strategic Gambit, which is the one where you get to discard up to 2 objectives and generate another one, but if you score it, you get double points. He did exercise that to double points on Secure Objective 5. which was this objective. So the Blood Angels are going to open the game in a 2-0 lead as we go into the bottom of 1. Nurgle Response is coming up next. Alright, Death Guard have completed their turn up to the assault phase. Went ahead and moved forward with most of our army left the zombies in the trench to hold the ground. For our objectives, we drew Defend Objective 2, which is here in the trench system, overwhelming firepower and no prisoners. We went to work trying to remove some units. The Mephitic Blight Haulers were able to move forward and destroy one predator, leave the other at 2 wounds. With bolter fire and stubber fire, we were able to bring it down to 1 wound, but weren't able to finish it off. The cannons from the Siege Burst Crawlers were able to kill 4 of the 5 regular Terminators, and Plasma Overcharge plus Blight Launchers killed off all 5 of the Assault Terminators. 2 of the Scouts were laid low by Plague Spitters where the Bloat Drone moved forward, and 1 Assault Marine was killed off with Bolter Fire that had no line of sight to anything else. So we're going to attempt to launch a couple of charges, and then we will be back. Assault phase rolls to an end. The Mephitic Blight Haulers were able to get in and destroy the Bell Predator, and it exploded, but we used a command point reroll and were able to keep it from exploding to keep the Blood Angels from taking horrendous casualties where they were all surrounding it. We then consolidated forward and grabbed the Assault Marines and the Tactical Squad. They were able to do 1 more wound to this Mephitic Blight Hauler, leaving it at 2, but they just could not get a lot of hits through. We had Miasma of Pestilence up on them in addition to their normal -1 to be hit in close combat. So at that point, we're going to score 1 point for overwhelming firepower, D3 points for no prisoners, which we did roll a 1 for. So 2 plus first strike for the first turn. That will make it 3-2 in favor of the Death Guard going into the top of 2. Blood Angels are far from out of the fight. They will be coming back next.
So all my special weapons fired at the Bloat Drone up on the bridge, and through the combined firepower, we were able to knock out 5 wounds. All the bolters from the said squads used bolter drill and fired at the Plague Marine squad by the Demon Prince. We were able to knock out 4 Marines.
No, you're right. 3. You're right.
3 Marines through combined firepower. My Assault Marines fell behind enemy lines and shot down a couple Poxwalkers and declared a charge on the mortar. And I believe that is all that happened.
Alright. Oh, also, one of these Terminators also got back up. They're charging in here against the Blight Haulers for the coming combat. These guys did lose 1 guy on Overwatch. Alright, so that should be it. We will be back after we work these combats.
So the assault phase, the Terminators were able to knock out one of the Black Crawlers. They, in return, knocked out a Tech Marine and an Assault Marine. On the other front, the Assault Marines killed 2 Poxwalkers, but they killed 1 Assault Marine and got 1 back due to their roll, and they knocked a wound out of the tank.
Yep.
And the only point scored for the turn was hold the line for having 3 units in my deployment zone.
All right, and that's worth 1 point, yes?
Yes.
All right, so that brings the Blood Angels up to 3. The Death Guard will also score Defend Objective 2 because they have troops on that objective and our battalion and Battleforged. So that'll give us 2 points. That will leave it at 4-3 in favor of the Death Guard, correct? Or 5-4?
How many points do you have?
That'll be worth 2. And I had 3 on my first turn.
Then yes.
All right.
5-3.
5-3. All right, so 5-3 in favor of the Death Guard as we go into the bottom of turn 2. Death Guard turn 2. For this turn we drew Death Begets Life, Hold the Line, and Assassinate. We went ahead and moved forward. Demon Prince cast Smite and was able to kill the Terminator that was resurrected last turn by the Sanguinary Priest. We were then able to back out of combat here. We fell back with the Crawler and with the Zombies. We went ahead and played the Dead Walk again. Typhus then, between Smite and Curse of the Leper, was able to kill 6 of the 7 Assault Marines, and then Plague Spitters from this crawler was able to bring down the final Marine and finish them off to clear our back lines. Marines moved forward and fired on the unengaged Marines along with Plague Spitters here and here. They were able to kill off the 5-man squad, 2 men from this squad, and 5 men here, along with 2 from the back. We were also able to bring the Predator down to 8 wounds with the Plague Burst mortars. We're launching several charges now. The drone here is going into the Assault Marines along with the 4-man Survivor squad here. The 7 men here are charging into the TAC squad up here. Prince is going into the Terminator. We're going to go ahead and do those combats, and then we will be back. Fight phase comes to an end. Demon Prince was able to finish off the Terminators, consolidate into the Assault Marines, who promptly punched a hole in him even with the separating plate. We then also charged in with these Marines, and the Bloat Drone were able to bring down 1 Assault Marine total. And over here we were able to kill off all but 1 of the Marines. He killed 1 Plague Marine before failing his morale and leaving the battlefield. So Nurgle was able to kill 28 models total for the turn. That gives us 4 points for Death Begets Life, 1 for Hold the Line, since we were able to clear our deployment zone. Typhus and the zombies still hold our line back here, spreading infection and mayhem as they do. So that's going to make it 10-3 in favor of Nurgle right now. Going to the top of 3 for the Blood Angels. Coming up next. Blood Angels have finished their turn up to the assault phase. Most of the firepower, including the missile launchers and the las cannons, went here, fragged all but 1 of the Marines. The 3 survivors back here are now charging this guy. Dante leapt over combat and is charging into the Demon Prince, and the Sanguinary Priest is joining against the drone down here. The snipers all coupled here because one of the objectives was to kill a character off this turn, and we're unable to do any damage to the Noxious Blightbringer. Dante is going to try to bring some points home by bringing the Demon Prince down in combat now. We are going to work those combats, and we will be back. Combat rolls to an end. Dante was able to put a grand total of 6 wounds through the Demon Prince's save, and he was able to make 2 of his Disgustingly Resilience, taking 4 wounds, leaving him with 1. We then used a counterattack to kill off a couple of Assault Marines with the Prince. The Assault Marines threw their attacks to no avail, and were cut down between the Mephitic Blight Haulers and the Plague Marines. Plague Marine on this flank was cut down, but the Marines deigned to stand still instead of moving to lock up. And the Plague Drone and the Sanguinary Priest had a gong show in combat there. At that point, the Blood Angels are going to go ahead and call it. They're hemorrhaging on points and are set to lose a significant portion of what's left on the table in the coming Death Guard turn. So that will be a Death Guard victory. At that point, it's going to be, what was our final score?
The Death Guard have 10, the Blood Angels have 4.
All right, so 10-4 in favor of the Death Guard. Be sure to give us a like and a subscription if you liked what you saw. As always, guys, thanks for spending time with us today at the Maelstrom.